and I did my disease talk report on toxoplasmosis for our final project. And toxoplasmosis is a disease. It's caused by the parasite Toxoplasma gondii. So the reason that I chose this disease is because I've always heard the rumor that when you're pregnant, you shouldn't be cleaning a litter box. So it seemed kind of out there, like there was no reason for it, so I wanted to do more research on that. And so this is what I found out. It's that it's caused by toxoplasmosis, is like the reason behind why you shouldn't be cleaning the litter box. So toxoplasmosis is a disease, and you contract it by either coming in contact with contaminated foods that haven't been washed, like vegetables and fruits, or with undercooked meats that's been contaminated by the disease. So the particular thing about why you shouldn't clean the cat litter specifically, like nobody says anything about picking up after your dog or anything, and the reason behind this is because Toxoplasma gondii reproduces sexually only in cats. So asexually it reproduces in any mammal in any cell that has a nucleus, but sexually they can only reproduce in cats, and nobody's quite sure why this is. So there's an abundance of toxoplasma in the stool of the cats and in the urine of the cats. And that's why you shouldn't clean the litter box. So that's what I found out. And if you do contract toxoplasmosis while you clean a litter box while you're pregnant, or in any way while you're pregnant, it can cause congenital defects and also fetal death. So, other facts about it is it's also one of the most common parasites that there is that you can contract. And actually, about 15 to 30% of Americans in the United States have the disease, and it's just people don't know they have it, or it's dormant. So, yeah. In France or Brazil, up to 80% have it. So it's much more common in other parts of the world, but it's still pretty common in America too. So Toxoplasma gondii is also known to cause, it's called the mind control parasite. So obviously a parasite can't take over your brain and control your mind. But the reason it's called that is because there's been studies that show that it causes abnormal activity in different animals, specifically rats. So there's been studies done in 2011 that showed that rats that have been infected with toxoplasmosis, instead of running away from cat urine and becoming scared by it, they're actually attracted to it and go towards it. So they're no longer afraid of the cat urine, because obviously the cat is a predator to the rat. So that's why it's called the mind control disease. So the science behind this is toxoplasmosis causes an increase in glutamate in the brain. And glutamate, what it does is it stimulates the neurotransmitters to transmit signals throughout the brain. So what is supposed to control the glutamate and relieve it once a response is sent by the neurotransmitter is the GLT1. So when you have toxoplasmosis, and this is in very severe cases, most cases you have flu-like symptoms or nothing at all, and then the disease goes dormant. But in very severe cases, when the GLT1 can't control the excess in glutamate, the neurons don't fire properly, and they can fire excessively or when they're not supposed to, and this causes the neurons to die. And that's what leads to the abnormal activities caused by toxoplasmosis, and why they call it the mind control disease. It's also been linked to have excessive, it's more common in people that have schizophrenia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and epilepsy. So it could be related to that, but nobody's quite sure. So to draw what it looks like, it's kind of like a typical parasite. There's nothing really stand out about it. It has all of the normal structures. So it kind of tapers to one side and it's a little smaller. And it has a large nucleus. And then surrounding the nucleus is the endoplasmic reticulum. And then we have the mitochondria down here. And then it also has these little bodies scrambled around, which are called dense granules. I'm only going to draw one, but there's more than one in the thing, in the parasite. And then the rest of it, it has these other dense ones now at the bottom here that are darker. These are called the conoids, and they're a little more oval shaped. And then we have the apicoplast, which kind of has this layered look to it. And then the last thing that we have, I don't really know how to say it correctly, but it's called the rope tree. So it kind of looks like this. There's 3 of them. It's spelled like this. And there we have it. There's our parasite. And then here are my sources.